Welcome back to the Coventry View, and we have got a lot to catch up on. Claudio, first of all, let's check on your blood pressure. How are you?
It's going up.
Welcome back. So, on the episode this week, we are talking about, is Callum O'Hare disinterested? Has he got already a secret move because he seems to be playing like it? We're also going to talk a little bit about Sims, Sakamoto, formations, Mark Robbins, and of course, Sheaf as well. And we'll try and pack that all into a nice quick 10-minute podcasts. So, first of all, let's go back to the FA Cup. We did catch you last week because you were busy thrashing non-league opposition. What did you make of that game? Much to report?
Well, we got the job done in the first half, and I mean, it's what we wanted, but of course, then it makes the second half a bit boring to watch because nothing really happened. And I was kind of pleased we scored the two late goals. It did make it look really emphatic, but it was a comfortable win. And fair play to Maidstone because they didn't try and kick us up in the air. They tried to play football, but the quality, you can see the difference. If we were in their league, we'd score 100 goals and probably concede 10. And that's no disrespect to the league. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. There were some tweets after that Ellis Sims has found his level. I think they might have come from rival clubs rather than yours. But what did you make to his hat-trick and his all-round performance?
Well, the second goal was he took it beautifully. It's, off the shoulder, took it first time in the corner. I mean, that's a striker's finish. So you'd like to think after a hat-trick, he'd be a bit buoyed by that, but I'm not sure.
Yes, because then we go into West Brom. Let's talk about the West Brom game then. First of all, Mark Robbins made some changes. There's a Sakamoto. It feels like a bit Groundhog Day here because we're talking about a back three again, aren't we? And this sounds like we're going back to October, November times when you came on here and went, I wish you'd just stick with a flat back four. What's the fans' view on that West Brom game in the formations first?
I wonder if he could hear us in the ground because he would have heard a collective sigh of, what's going on when we saw the team sheet because we played Preston and we were poor. And two of the guys who didn't particularly cover themselves in glory were then picked again for the next game, which is odd, and in a three-man defence. So it didn't look right. We didn't look comfortable. And after 5 minutes, them scoring, that throws a game plan out the window. And I thought maybe 20 minutes time we'll probably change it and realise we've got to go to four at the back and put some more bodies in midfield, just change it because it's not happening. And bizarrely, we didn't play well at all, but Ellis Sims had a great chance from 7 yards, which he should have hit the target and put it, I don't know, well wide. And our shooting was all over the place. We had 17 shots on goal, of which I think only 7 hit the target. They pretty much scored with their 2 shots in the first half.
Yeah.
And there's the difference.
Yeah, and crikey, they're a tough opposition at home, aren't they? They don't give much away. Then, how much would you agree that you're missing Sheaf at the moment?
Oh, very much so. I mean, I think his tackle statistics are 80% or something. He was at the top in the championship before he got injured. He's very good at winning the ball back. Very calm. Sometimes he can frustrate because he's probably a bit too calm, but he, is a top bloke, and he's with him and Torp. It looked like we've got something going on there in Sakamoto as well. But of course, we've lost Alan as well. I mean, are those on the bench most of the time? It's another player from the midfield. Sakamoto now. Hopefully, Ben Sheaf will come back maybe in about 10 days, but he's been a big loss.
Yeah. And the aerial duels statistic, which you can read two ways into, but Coventry were never in any danger in this statistic, but in the last 2 games, you've lost more aerial duels than any other team apart from Rotherham. What's happening in that particular area of the pitch?
Aerial duels. I don't think we're not very good per se in the air. I don't think we don't. They made reference to this on Friday when the ball was put into the box and there was no movement from only our forwards trying to get in on the end of it. And in defence, I mean, last season we had 3 big guys at the back who were fairly solid. Ironically, Matt Fadzin's gone to Blackburn and gets Player of the Month, which is ironic, really, isn't it? But he'd have been suited in our three at the back, obviously. But no, we need leaders, don't we? And when that ball's in the air, you got to be prepared to get up there and win something. And also that includes the keepers as well. We like to stay on the line, which is I know it's a modern day keeper thing, but sometimes you've got to come out off the line and collect that ball. I don't know whether or not it's because we do a bit of a zonal defence, maybe that's what it is, and players are meant to do their jobs and they're not. But it doesn't surprise me about that statistic at all.
Yeah, missing key figures doesn't help. Okay, let's get the elephant out of the room then. So Coventry Twitter after the game was only talking about one player and one player only. We've discussed O'Hare lots on this channel, from welcoming him back to suggesting perhaps he's gained a bit of weight in the gym, and is he running freely, to lauding him and saying how brilliant he is, and we're back to square one here. There are fans, Claudio, that suggest he is disinterested and has already got his move sorted out. How far do you subscribe to that view?
Well, he may. Well, he could have, couldn't he? I mean, we don't know. But I just feel the last couple of games, he has been off it. But also, like against West Brom, it just didn't suit him. Him and Casey Palmer both together and playing that like two number 10s. I think one of them has to be the number 10. I think, and that's what it didn't suit him at all. And it comes to something though when the manager says he took him off at half time, because I thought he may have had a tweak or something, but he said he took him off because he felt Casey had more of a presence than Callum did, which isn't a great thing to say, really, is it? You know, in a game where we're wanting to win it. So I don't know. He's obviously not staying. I'd be amazed if he stays at the end of the season. But we got to, keep playing him because he's one of the better players. But to what cost? Because if he's not actually contributing, he may as well be on the bench. But yeah, he came in, didn't he? Like lightning, got those goals.
Yep.
My only thought was, though, we're two down, and you took off a player who potentially can score goals. That's if anything, keep him on and take somebody off who's less likely to score a goal. But yeah, I've heard that people think he's going and he's signed for somebody, or he's But I don't know.
I mean, I watched the game, and obviously you travel the country and watch them, and I just thought in the first half, there was nobody running at the defence. It was very strange performance. I thought. I mean, West Brom didn't pull up any trees. I didn't think they're effective in what they did. Like you say, they took their chances. But when you did run at the defence, I think from sort of 65, 70 minutes onwards and had a go, you looked like you could score. And actually, I'd have perhaps put money on you getting a draw there, because you actually started to think, well, hold on, we just run at them. They're backing off. So again, I don't know tactically whether that was something which he told them, let's keep it tight till half time. But crikey. I mean, hopefully you're going to run at if you run at that Watford defence on Saturday. I think you'll get a lot more than you got against West Brom.
Mark Robbins came out and said he got it wrong. He said he got the formation wrong. He probably should have stuck with what we had before, and he said it was too passive. You could see that, and we're watching it, and I'm saying to my lad, we're not getting up there. Sims is isolated. We are not getting up there quick enough. I've watched other clubs playing with three at the back with wing backs. I mean, I know Man City is a different level, but it's the work rate. The guys are up and down the pitch non-stop, and that's what you need. You can't just isolate your big man up front and hope he's going to do a miracle. And you're right. It was too passive. It wasn't aggressive enough. Out of possession as well. We didn't really close anybody down. It was too easy. And there was one period, I think before half time, where I think it may have been Palmer and O'Hare and somebody else were just doing tippy-tappy. And I'm thinking, come on, we're in their half.
Yeah.
At least make an opening. It's almost like let's just get to half time kind of thing, doing the tippy tappy stuff.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? Southampton? Yeah.
Well, it's frustrating. It is frustrating because, like you say, in the second half when we came out and had a little bit of a go, and I mean, Casey ran into the area, gets a penalty. But then you notice after the penalty, it kind of stopped again. Yeah, whether or not that was West Brom being a bit more clever than us and tightening things up. And of course, Mark Robins only made one substitution, which is a surprise as well. So,
okay.
I don't know. It was all around rubbish evening, really, in the end.
Rotherham this week, obviously, we're recording this before that game, so we can't comment on how that's gone. But we're now looking ahead to Watford. It's a ground you've only won once on in 20 odd years, which was a couple of years ago. So not a very happy hunting ground, just like the Hawthorns was. But this is a Watford side in disarray. If you read Watford Twitter, it's been in meltdown for the last 2 weeks. They are on a terrible run and may not have a manager by the time you get to play them. So this should be a week for 6 points for the Cov, shouldn't it, Claudio?
We need 6 points, don't we? I think we're very good at either saving a manager's career or getting him the sack. This could be it. We did it with, I think, Mark Hughes when he was in the Premier League and we were League Two, beaten in the Cup. I think he got sacked in the morning. Yes, we have to get minimum 4 points in the next couple of games. Yes, it's got to be done, and we've got to have a go. There's only 11 matches left now. You know, we're not going down. There's nothing to lose. If you finish mid-table, I mean, if you miss out by 2-3 points, you may as well finish mid-table anyway. You may as well have a go, you know, because I think realistically, probably 4 clubs are going for one place at the minute, unless somebody can string a load of wins. I mean, you know, in this division, you could easily win 6 and lose 5.
It's brilliant division, isn't it? Brilliant. Just look at the bottom of the table.
Look at the last season. They ended up in the playoffs, not because of the last 10 matches, because of the 10 matches previous to that. Because I think the last 10, they only win 1 game or something. It was like a weird running. Yeah. I mean, they're easily in there, but you can see how you can drop off.
Absolutely. I mean, anyone from 15th could go down at this moment in time. Even Sunderland fans are talking about potentially going down, and they're in 9th. And it's nice, isn't it, for Coventry not to be involved in that. Accrington Stanley sacked the manager this week, which now means Mark Robins is the longest serving manager in the EFL, obviously outside the Premier League. So we asked you this last week, but to what degree do you think that Coventry are where they are in the league now because of the longevity of the manager? And should other clubs like Middlesbrough, who are thinking of getting rid of Carrick, and Watford are thinking of getting rid of their manager, should they stick with him and go for longevity?
Yeah, I think as long as they've got some sort of plan or a project and they're all on the same song sheet, you stick with him, you know, because to be honest, he hasn't done a lot wrong, really. I mean, you know, it's every season upon season, we've finished higher than the season before. And the way the club have viewed it in the past is if we finish above the position in the table regarding our budget, we've done pretty well. So they're going to do that again anyway. But, I mean, I look around. Who is there, really, that's going to change it dramatically? Because we still need to invest in the summer if we want to get promoted. If he gets in the playoffs with this lot, that's another minor miracle, to be honest, because although we've got a decent squad, it's still not big enough. I mean, because in the past, we've had enough players, but not enough quality. So now we've got some quality, but we just need a few more. Because, you know, I think when we had our good run recently, we had a solid bench as well. There's no academy players. And I've noticed the last couple of games, the academy players are starting to fill the bench again. And that's where it lies. But he's been excellent for us. I mean, there's no argument. There's absolutely no argument. Frustrating at times, but you know, when you're in a long-term relationship, you may love somebody, but sometimes it can be frustrating. But you don't want to chuck them out the door, do you? At the first hurdle you haven't got over.
All right, and finally, we're going to ask you for your February Player of the Month. Just before that, we lots of people had to go to the Maidstone fan who we had on here because you know they wanted a big club. Flipping that question back on you now, were you disappointed in the quarter-final draw?
No, not at all. I mean, I said to you, I wanted the weakest team left in it.
Yeah.
Possibly Wolves is actually, in terms of Premier League, I think. the fact they got about 10 first team players injured. If we couldn't get them at home, get them away. It's a Midland derby, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be great. The atmosphere will be fantastic at the Molineux. And it'll mean a lot more, I think, to Cov fans if we win that than if we'd have gone to Brighton, say. Yeah. So I think it's a good draw, and we've got a chance. Got a chance of
You definitely have got a chance, yeah. And then Wembley, and then one of the big boys. Finally, for all those young fans that want you to see play City and United and Liverpool. No, they lost to Liverpool. No, there's only you and Leicester representing this championship.
Oh, right. So we could be playing Liverpool under fives.
All right. Right, let's finish then, Claudio, with getting your player of the month for February. Give us who and why.
I'll tell you what, just because it felt like it kind of turned the corner, I'll say Ellis Sims. I think there are, I know, there are others I could have picked, and there'll be people watching this thinking,
I can feel the keyboard warriors now going, what is this guy talking about?
But, I just feel, it was better than he was the month before. That's my reason. Right, and he scored some goals. So
against Maidstone. Right, okay. Right, Ellis Sims gets the Coventry Player of the Month for February. If you could have predicted that, then yeah, you're a liar. Right, thank you, Claudio. Enjoy your trip to Vicarage Road, and we will catch you next week when we'll have our Wolves fan here, and we'll have a Midlands ding dong, and you can thrash it out with the gold and black of Midlands.
Subtitles and the translator.
Yeah. Catch you next week. Thanks, Claudio.
Yes.